Sunday is Father's Day. Good thing I told you because you wouldn't have known otherwise. Sunday's Father's Day, and joining me now is a man who several years ago wrote a book. And this book has always stuck with me. It's stuck with me in my head. And every time Father's Day rolls around, if I'm doing a show, I call upon him, and I call upon Harold Theurer. He's the author of Hey, Dad, Let's Have a Catch. And Harold, good to talk to you again.
Steve, thank you so much for remembering me and the book. And it wouldn't be, I guess it wouldn't be Father's Day if I didn't have a conversation with you.
It is. When did the book come out? Oh, 10?
That was 6 years ago.
Oh, so 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So where are we now? So that was in what? So
this will be the 6th year. So it was I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
No, it's been amazing, and it's taken me on quite a journey, and probably the most enjoyable part of it was the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Yeah. Tell folks about that.
Which really, they embraced the book. I had again, this is a self-published work, so I'm not only the author but also the marketing person. I happen to just pick up the phone, and when you think of target marketing, what better community and what better market that would embrace the concept of playing catch with your dad, but baseball fans. So I picked up the phone, called up the Hall of Fame. They took a sample of them, and within a week they were through with the sample, and it's just become an annual event where they'll call and stock the book before Father's Day. And they invited me 3 years in a row up to do a presentation up at what they call the Bullpen Theater, which is a lovely little venue. And I've talked about the book, done book signings, but probably the best part of the whole event was just observing the fact that they had Doubleday Field empty. And I emailed the president of the Hall of Fame, Jeff Idelson, and I said, you have this gorgeous facility. Did you ever think of opening it up to have parents and their children play catch on Doubleday Field? It would be the ultimate Field of Dreams moment. Well, lo and behold, they embraced it. It was a fascinating experience, seeing young fathers chase stray balls with their young kids. But what was more touching to me was seeing sons our age playing catch with their dads, and moms and daughters our age playing catch with their moms. So I on the way home, we're driving down 28, and I turned to my wife and I said, I really should have had a video crew up here to capture this, because there's something to it. And we did it the following year. The video can be seen on www.heydadthebook.com. It's only a 7-minute video, but it provides, I guess, what I call the essence of what the book is really about. To me, it's beyond the book. It's really a way of looking at parenting that we often lose sight of.
Well, especially today, Harold, it just seems like year after year after year, the statistics get worse and worse and worse. And, playing catch is something that I've treasured with my son. I used to take it further. I used to go to a park when he was, 5, 6, and wait till the handball court was free, and then we'd play like our version of stickball, a mini version of stickball. But I'd fast pitch it to him, and he would use a baseball bat. It wasn't a hard ball I was using, but it was like a spongy ball or a tennis ball or whatever. And that's how he got to learn to hit, and that was wonderful. But something about catch, even to this day. We have our own little phrases that we throw at each other during catch that we threw at each other 5, 6 years ago when he was a kid to now that he's 13 and a half, and we still use them and we chuckle about it. There's just such a bond. It's like if he would drop the ball when he was a kid and Willie Randolph was the manager of the Mets, I'd say like, oh, Willie Randolph's going to come get you. So, just the other day we played a Memorial Day and I dropped it. He said, Willie Randolph's coming.
But that's the essence of it. And, and it's what's so important. And you hit it. Today's society, the economy is where it is, and we all know it. And parents are scraping to try to entertain and bond with their children, and it's as inexpensive as going to the local store. Well, a Spalding when we were kids, it was 25 cents. Now they're $2.99.
Yeah,
that's a difference. So that's
I don't even know where to get one.
Yeah, you can't. I won't mention the names of the stores, but we won't give them a plug. But you can buy them. They were taken off the market for a while, but that's another story. I did some research on that. But it's just the idea of being face to face with your child, and what I call it's the ultimate form of communication. And now people who perhaps maybe can't play catch, if you're sitting across the way from your son or daughter, and you're having an interaction that you don't interrupt. And I believe that having a catch is the ultimate form of communication, because when you throw the ball, that communication, that sentence is not interrupted until it's completed or heard by the recipient,
Right,
and vice
right,
versa.
right. Yep.
So I really believe that it's the ultimate form of communication, and I usually include this in my presentation that whenever I do a book signing and all. But it's if you have a child. And Steve, I'm sure you remember this when your son was 5 or 6 and he came home from school. You'd say, "Hey, how was school?" And he would go on for 20 minutes.
Right, right. Yep.
And as soon as they turn 11,
Oh, then it's like, okay, nothing.
it's how was school? Good.
Yeah, what'd you learn?
What'd you do?
Either nothing or I don't remember.
So that's what I found with my son. I mean, he would go on for 20 minutes in kindergarten, but then clam up when he was in 5th or 6th grade. So I found that by going outside and having a catch, it was good for what I call 2 oh yeah dads. Now, what's an oh yeah dad? An oh yeah dad is when you're in this zen-like rhythm of the catch and the throw. All of a sudden, the defenses go down, and my son would say, "Oh yeah, Dad, we did this in class." And then that would open up a door for me to explore more into that one aspect of what happened in the day. And then a little while later, "Oh yeah, Dad, this happened." So I really believe that once you're engaged in a non-threatening and a cooperative type of activity with your child, it does open the doors to communication, which are so essential these days. One of the and if you watch the video, one of the psychologists that embraced the book, Dr. Carolyn Olio, she talks about moments. She works a lot with bereavement counseling for children who lose parent and loved ones, and her what she identified was that these children miss moments. Their memories are based in activities with the loved one. It had nothing to do with the expense. It had nothing to do with the extravagance of it. It was just spending the time with your child.
Yep.
And that's what you and I remember. My dad, he was a Depression kid. He had an 8th grade education. Didn't go to high school. Never even thought about college. Worked 2 jobs all of his life, and provided for his family. But he always found time in between that day and night job to play a 10-minute game of catch with me.
Yeah.
It was very rare when he said no. And like you said about the phrases that you share with your son,
right.
The reason I wrote the book is because I found myself saying to my son when he was a child all the things that my dad said to me. Good catch, good, nice catch,
right.
good
Yep.
throw, all those things.
Yep.
And it's almost the circle of life type of phenomenon where we pass down these little traditions, but it's all based in time and spending time with your child. So my memories of my dad, I really believe the relationship he forged with me unwittingly was defined in these face-to-face moments that we had.
No, that's such a great story, and it's so very, very true. And I treasure putting on the glove and being able to do it. And I said earlier, we had Michael Reagan on yesterday talking about Father's Day, and he was talking about time spent with his dad and the importance of being a mentor to a foster kid and all that kind of stuff. But I was talking about how it doesn't have to be catch. Some people can't play catch for whatever reason, but there's always a way to share the time with your child. There's always a way to bond. There's always a way if you make the time, and you'll find that children, even if they don't appear to be on the surface, they're craving it, and they will be receptive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah,
there's another psychologist, William Pollack, who wrote the book Real Boys. He uses the phrase enthrallment. There's this feeling of enthrallment when the boy is playing catch with his dad.
I can imagine. Well, listen, Harold, as always, we appreciate it. Where can people still get the book?
At your local bookstores. You can go to heydadthebook.com, where you can order it online, Amazon. If you order it online through the heydadthebook.com, there's a box there where I'll personalize it to the recipient if you want to send it as a gift.
Harold Theurer, I appreciate the time. Have a great, happy Father's Day.
You too.